Yes, guys, welcome back to the Natural Physique podcast. We've got all four of us here. Who was it last time? I think it was just me and Matt. The boys were
Yeah,
not.
it's just us two.
We're gonna have a
I
bit
like
of a
that
catch up.
episode.
Huh?
I liked that episode.
It
That
was a
was
good
good.
episode. Matt said he didn't know. What was that the other day on the business call? I was like, oh, the one that we did
Yeah.
was good, and he was
Yeah, I
like,
didn't
I
watch
don't,
it.
I don't know, I haven't watched
Yeah, I
As
didn't
if it
watch
wasn't him that was speaking the whole time.
it. So yeah, if you haven't watched that one, that was just me and Matt. Go back and watch that because it's quite good. Um, Today, all of us are going to have a bit of a catch up on the travels that Josh and Noah went on because I've obviously heard quite a lot, but I want to hear like the stories in person because it's quite good to have that. And then we'll have a bit of a chat about like future plans for the coaching team, future plans for you lads competing and things like that. So, first of all, I mean, you guys can just crack on and where do we start from your holiday? How long was it? Where did you go? All that kind of stuff.
You go for it, not
Don't
you,
need to go
you
for
planned
it.
it.
So we had initially planned to do what's it called? The starts with a B. It's
Oh,
Montenegro, Serbia, Balkans. We had
yes.
initially planned to do 2 weeks of the Balkans, traveling from east to west and finishing in Italy. So we had booked the flight from Edinburgh to Bulgaria, and we knew that we had to get from Bulgaria somehow to Sarajevo in Bosnia, because then we'd bought Sarajevo to Milan, Milan to Edinburgh. So we had like a week and a half to figure out how we're getting to Bosnia. Um, Obviously Brandon starts prep literally in like half a week now or something like that, Josh. We all went on a call and he was like, I think I'll only do the second half of the trip, which was meant to be Croatia, Bosnia, Italy. So then I thought, right, we'll make it a bit more fun so we're not like going to
Just a bit
Montenegro.
easier.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like
'Cause it was
we
like an
would
8 hour bus or train journey every second day, and it's like there's no point in traveling if you're just going to be sat in a bus or train all the time.
yeah. So we hopped on a Skyscanner and I found that we could fly from Bulgaria to Turkey. And I didn't really fancy thinking like spending a whole week of the travel just in Turkey. So to break it up, we decided just to bounce to Egypt for like a day trip, which sounds mental, like saying that out loud. But we thought, fuck it, bounce to the pyramids, come back to Turkey, and then from Turkey would fly up to Bosnia and then across to Milan. So we kept all the initial flights that we booked, but we just rearranged it instead of going bus to country. We used the flights just to Turkey and then to Egypt as well, which turned out pretty good to be fair. A lot more enjoyable than what it probably would have been.
How did you find it, Josh? Because obviously, like I think, well, Noah, everybody knows that Noah's traveled quite a bit. Whereas for you, like obviously, I know you've been on holiday and stuff, but like you've not necessarily like said that you want to travel, and you are somebody who, as much as Noah is as well, not to the same extent. Like you're very much like you need that routine. You're very regimented to that routine. You start stressing out if you don't have that exact routine. So same with your meals and stuff. So like, how was it for you?
I was a bit hesitant, like about all of it. To be fair, I remember messaging you. I was like, should I go on this? Should I not? Because I was kind of scared, and obviously I've took like a relatively large influx in clients, etc. And I was like, I don't know if it's going to be like a good time to go away. And I thought to myself, like, fuck that. Like, this is the reason that I kind of wanted to be self-employed in the first place. To go and do stuff in my own time and not have a boss tell me, no, you can't go away, you can't get that time off, whatever it may be. I was like, yeah, let's just go for it. Brandon told us that he booked a kitchen, or he booked a kitchen. He booked Airbnbs with kitchens and all of them. Like 30% of them had kitchens in them. Because I was like, right, boom, I'll pick up chicken when we get there and we'll cook that and life will be great and everything. Turned up to the first one, the kitchen was a fridge and a sink. Turned up to the second one, in the
Yeah,
kitchen,
could
fridge and a
argue that
sink.
is the kitchen.
Yeah, but no cooking facilities. Like this is the thing. See, when I go onto Airbnb and I look at Airbnbs for shows and stuff like that, I'll like thoroughly look through them, look at the location. How far is it from the main center of the city? Does it have the stove, so on and so forth? Brandon literally just went, "Oh, that one's cheap."
Says
That
kitchen.
was that was £13 a night.
It's fucking terrible. So he booked them without even, looking at the location, looking if there's, hobs, whatever it may
N-
be. So
Nah, to be fair to him, he got a couple belters.
yeah, there was a couple good ones in. It
That
was
that one with like the moat around it was ridiculous.
Mm,
the
mm.
what?
The what one?
Like the water, it looked like it had a moat around it.
Yeah.
A moat is like
Oh, that would to be fair, he booked that one.
that was
That,
ridiculous.
that was
Oh,
on one day. That was on one day's notice.
yeah, and
Was
it was
that
only
They
like
was
decided
that
to
like really expensive or
20 quid,
75 quid for the
25.
night. 25 each.
What? Because it was last minute, do you reckon? And also,
Yeah,
it's probably
well, that's really good. Like that's the
was
best
it
view in the whole of Mostar. Like
Yeah,
that's
country is that?
Bosnia.
Bosnia.
Yeah, so it's not an expensive. If you're in like I don't know Spain or something, that would have cost you a bomb. Like let's say that's in Barcelona,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's like
Oh,
300.
yeah. Yeah.
I
you're
Mhm.
booked it the
looking
day
at like a
before as
grand.
well.
Like,
We
it's
were in
crazy.
Bosnia. We were in Sarajevo, one of the cities, and then we're like, we'll do a day trip to Mostar. We're like, might as well just stay overnight. That's like it's a 2 hour train journey away, and it's like one of the most beautiful train journeys in the whole world. You go through the mountains and through like the kind of like really nature heavy part of Bosnia. Went there, went to the Kravica waterfalls, which is really good. Noah got called
The
Jesus.
MILFs. Can I say MILFs in the
They were
pod?
Yeah,
loving
you
it,
can say
man.
mouse.
They were
Looking at me. Is that okay?
Am I gonna get told off?
I've already said it. I've already said Bill.
I'm sacked.
they were loving it.
Yeah, so I messaged Noah because he sent me a photo. Like, this is the only check-in photo this week, and I was like, "Are you Jesus?" Because I'd already seen it on Josh's story, and he was like, "Mate, I can't believe you said that. He called me Jesus." I was like, "I know."
They kept just going, Jesus, Jesus. That was brilliant. They loved it.
They love an
Um,
off-season body, so they do.
yeah, dad bod. It was
Yeah.
great.
I'm in my fucking third
Should have
trimester.
hit. Should have hit a wee crucifix, mate.
Yeah.
I'm sure my gut hanging out would be lovely.
Yeah.
Really made
They
the
told
photo.
us, we were like, can you get a photo of us after it? And then they kept saying something, I can't remember what it was they were saying, but they were indicating to do like the Arnold pose. I think that's what they
Yeah,
said.
sure.
Arnold pose. And I finally done it. I went, yeah! I was like, "That was brilliant." So they were having a great time. Three of them. So yeah, Mostar was really good. We done the waterfall, then we came back up, and then we just kind of messed about for the night. The Airbnb that we got literally had like vertical stairs and off over the edge of all the buildings, so you were
Yeah.
over the water. So we sat on that terrace like over the water and with like a view of everything. Played cards for the night, which was brilliant. But yeah, Bosnia was good in terms of like the actual trip itself. I found it really enjoyable and I actually managed it relatively well. Like in terms of stress and not worrying about stuff. The first week I took off of work, but I still done check-ins for people that are in diets, so like that needs changes that we can't really waste time with that. Whereas with gaining phases, if we know that things are ticking over and that things are going well, like didn't need that update each week. But someone who's in a diet, and it's a case of making the changes to make sure body weight's still coming down. Done that second week, just done my check-ins, but it was just written once, so like still gave all the changes and then gave like a rundown of everything that we've got. But it was a lot more efficient, etc. So yeah, I found it really good. It was just obviously annoying that we didn't have a kitchen every place, but we worked around it well in the case, in the sense, sorry, that I brought, I think it total to be 560 grams of whey, something
Yeah.
like that. It was just a 40-gram shake each day. So in the morning, I would just have a protein shake. The first day that we'd get to somewhere, we'd just jump to a shop and pick up a box of cereal, some milk, and then just have like a protein shake and cereal in the morning.
Fuckload of dadlers.
Yeah, mate. Oh, you would have been so proud of us. We must have dusted like 600 dollars across that whole trip between us.
The best ones were those ones, see, in
Yeah.
like the cardboard box in
Yes,
Bosnia. They came
unbelievable.
out and they were like really soft, but they were like so soft and
There'll have
bad.
Yeah,
been there'll have been Medjool Daddlers then.
Yeah.
it was like the big Asda ones, but in little mini.
Were they
Little,
called Daddlers everywhere you went?
No.
I don't
No.
know what it's called. It was like unreadable writing for the most part because we were in a lot of like Islamic countries and stuff like that. So, but yeah, the Dadlos were very good. I only lost a kg of body weight and I'm back up to what I was before, so I'm buzzing with that. Like usually I lose like literally 5 kg every time I go on holiday,
Yeah.
but it's a case of getting as much food in the morning before we left.
Daddlers.
Yeah, mate, they were really good. They were so easy to eat.
They are dead easy. Like they're
And
such a good food just for being like again, like just getting calories in on the
yeah,
go. Or even just like peak off season. If you're like on like 700, 800 carbs, you just need a little bit more food. So I just add like 5 days. Don't even notice it. And they
Mm.
taste amazing.
or a full packet of milk biscuits.
Yeah.
Is that what Noah's
We
doing?
love it. No, we love it.
Put my
Oh,
fucking foot in it, you asshole.
we
Was
love
not just me, Finn.
Yeah,
No.
we loved a good bag of milk biscuits. Everywhere we went, we'd pick up dates, a box of cereal, and then just a big fucking like industrial pack of milk biscuits. Just sit there, just ran them every night. Had to get the food in. So yeah, I found it really good. It was really enjoyable. A lot different to like holidays that I usually go on, like a resort holiday where you're chilling out. It was literally like as soon as you get settled into somewhere, you were getting ready to go to the airport, repacking your bags again. That was the most difficult thing I think. See, like unpacking your bag and repacking your bag every time you pick something up and you're like, is this going to fit in here again? Then you have to, it's only 1 or 2 days that we're realistically in these places. So that was not stressful, but just kind of tiring sometimes in flights, etc. There was, mate, what, we went to sleep at like 9 a.m. in Istanbul.
Oh fuck, that was a pain. Yeah, so We arrived in Istanbul at like 7:30, I think, because our flight was
3 p.m.
3:30 in Egypt coming back. And we got in there, and whenever you land in Istanbul, like the queue's always dead long for non-Turkish passports to go through. So by the time we go through, I get our bags, boom, boom, boom. And was this the place that we'd booked the taxi? And he just
Oh, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah,
So we booked a
spent half
taxi
an
to
hour
pick
waiting
us
for
up
him.
from it. Guy just didn't fancy popping up, so we had to walk around for about half an hour, found a bus to take us there. And we were in this, like, it
Mate,
looked
at
like
like
a
eight
really
and
nice
one.
hotel, really
Yeah.
nice hotel. We go in, and there's about five different check-in desks everywhere, and they've all got their own little sign. So it turns out that Airbnbs like rent each room or something like that. It's like lots of different tenants in this one hotel. So we go in, we get given this room, not the right room. We're looking around like this is not what we've got booked.
No stove. No stove, I'll
No,
say.
yeah, no stove. This is
Really
us like,
volleyed
"Thank
Brandon.
fuck, we'll have something, not nothing. So we're all knackered. I stayed up for the flight. I was watching. Have you seen the Damned United?
Yeah, like years ago. Is it to
Oh,
do with the
Brian
Forest
Clough.
or yeah, to do with Forest?
Yeah, I've watched that about five times on every flight. But I was watching that and I
Did not
thought,
get boring.
no, honestly, Josh can probably vouch for it. I kept watching it. My For You page kept being that. Um,
It's a film, right?
yeah, yeah.
Just
What's
watched
the
it,
what's the
finished it, start that again.
So
That's so
genuinely,
good.
one of the flights was like 2.5 hours, so I finished it and restarted the first half of it. Um, but yeah, we got in at like 9 a.m. We got in, settled our bags, and they're like, right, we'll get you at 12ish, I think it was. So we
Nah, it
slept.
told me 3 p.m., mate. Like he told me 3 p.m. and then at 12 o'clock, I'm in the middle of my sleep. Like realistically, that's maybe like 2 a.m. for normal times. Like if I usually go to sleep, we'd fell asleep at 9 p.m. We'd just put the curtains over. We'd got everything sorted. I'd finally got into a good deep sleep in my little shitty foldable single bed. And then just bang, 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 bang. Fuck off. So then we had to like pack up all the shit again. Like I was a pure zombie. That's when we sent you a voice note. Actually, you asked us how we were doing. You sent a message into the group chat, and Noah seemed like pretty live. And I was like, mate, how have you got any energy to be sending anything down at this point? Went back in, went to sleep, woke up at 6 p.m.
No,
First,
it was not. It was like five, I think.
was it
Because
5?
we, oh yeah, because we went and we sat and done sweet fuck all, and then we trained at
So
that gym.
Training looked pretty good. Like looked like you found some half decent gyms.
I had
The
meal
best one
one
was
at 8 o'clock
Bosnia.
that day. That
Huh?
was. I was saying I had meal one at 8 o'clock, 8 p.m. That's the first time I've ever done that. We literally all we done that day. We woke up, we done nothing for the first hour because we were all like zombies. Ate a meal, went to the gym, trained for like 2.5 hours, done full body, wrote ourselves off, ate a meal, just went back to bed.
Yeah.
That was such a waste of a day in the sense like we done absolutely nothing, but we needed it. We needed it after.
We had already agreed that that day was going to be like a
Yeah,
complete zombie day. We're not doing a single thing because if you
after that.
thought if you think about what we did, literally the second we landed in Bulgaria, the day we got there, we went shooting out in absolutely nowhere.
Oh
Then
yeah, and
we done a
stuff.
hike like
Kicked
the day after. We then went to all these mosques for like and got to see Iftar when Ramadan broke
Yeah.
in Turkey. Then we went to the pyramids in Egypt. Bosnia, we went to waterfalls and done everything like
Thought
that.
we were going to get trafficked in Egypt, like
Oh,
legit, so bad. Like, don't ever go to Egypt, anyone listen, or don't ever go to Giza. Don't ever.
Giza's a shit.
So when I went to Hurghada years ago, and we booked to go to the pyramids, and then the day before it got cancelled. But we didn't even know. Like, luckily, one of the women that we'd already spoke about that was going to go as well, because it's from the hotel, she came up to us that evening. She was like, "You do know it's not on tomorrow?" And we're like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, yeah. There's been like a terrorist warning, like at the pyramids. So like
I'm not surprised.
we're not going." And I was like, "Oh shit!" Like I was a bit gutted because I was like, I want to go see the pyramids, but obviously I didn't want to be
I
killed.
don't think you miss much, to be honest. Like,
Yeah,
what
it's
do you
weird, isn't
well,
it? Like I think the
it's
thought
pure,
of it, because it's like
yeah.
one of the wonders of the world. Like
Mm.
It was just
thinking
pure
of it,
rubble all around it. Like, it was like pure,
It's just
just like,
sand and shit, isn't it?
yeah, but
Yeah,
it's not like a sandy, smooth desert. Like,
it
it,
is just like cinder blocks have
Yeah.
been
pyramids of
smashed up all
Egypt,
over the gaff.
just sand and shit.
yeah.
It's like Stonehenge. Stonehenge is fucking shit.
Have you
Just
been?
big fucking
Just stone.
big rocks, mate. It's shit. Boring. So
To
boring.
be fair, I thought it was quite cool, but I
Yeah.
think the fact that Josh
You
was
thought
riding.
Stonehenge was cool, but the pyramids are shit.
No, pyramids.
Oh, sorry.
No. I think the pyramids were decent, but the fact that Josh was riding Muhammad the whole time ruined the vibe
Mohammed,
because
man.
we
Is that a
came
camel or a person?
Person that's on the
Yes.
camel with me. Yeah.
What, you
but
were on a camel with Mohammed?
we all got our own
Him
camels and he's riding back.
Why?
riding over me. Yeah.
Did you ask to?
No, like
Can I
we
go
only
behind?
got. Yeah. Can I ride
Did I
over
go
me?
with Mohammed?
Yeah. So we walk in. Let me tell
Oh
this.
no,
I'm not having
can
you
I
tell.
tell the story properly, Josh? Because you're gonna try and hide this, right?
I want Noah to
didn't
tell
think
it.
it was
Noah's
bad.
telling
So, right,
Yeah, Noah.
so I told the boys categorically, people will pretend to be police officers in there. Head down, do not look anyone in the eye, just walk, right? Ignore them, walk. Because we had people like going, hello, whenever we're driving in at the windows, like, by our Sphinx, like, fuck
Yeah,
off.
you do. You get that everywhere, don't you?
So,
Like tourist places.
told the boys, and even the guy, Ahmed, who had us on the quad bikes, don't listen to anyone. Sick. So I'm standing in front. Josh was, yeah, put your head down. Was
It's
Brandon
going
in
to make
front
it
of
sound
you?
worse than it is.
Was Brandon in front of you? Was were you like together?
I think we were together.
Right. So I'm standing. I'm like, right, head up, just walk. And it's the second we come through the turnstiles. Oh, tickets! Like he's asking like to see our tickets and all that. So I've continued walking, 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 and he's shouting back like, "Get back, get back!" And then I can't remember what he said. Josh was it was something along the lines of, "I'm from the government."
Hmm.
And all of a
He,
sudden,
his
Josh goes,
lanyard, he showed his
"Oh,
lanyard.
okay," and gives over the ticket
So he
straight
said,
away.
yeah, so he says, let me see your tickets and shows the lanyard. So I'm thinking we need to show him the tickets just to show that we've got through. And then he starts talking, and then it just goes from there.
Listen, I'm Mohammed. I have sons. You remind me of my sons. I look after you. I show you the pyramids. You're within these walls. You will be safe. Egyptian government here. You will be safe. So we're walking and we get up and he's like, "Oh, so what you want to do?" We're like, "Oh, we want to walk, see the
So
pyramids."
basically, like you would have been fine on your own before.
Oh, I could have
Yes, he
just
was
been
not a
walking,
government official at all. He was just some
but
fucking.
because he saw a fucking sunflower lanyard, he's like, "So." So we've walked up and he's taken us to the Camel Man, and we'd already said like we want to get a camel later on, not right now.
We're like, what is the price? What is the
Yes, yeah. Josh kept going, "What is the price? What is the price?" He goes, "Just try on the camel." And I'd whispered to
Try on
Brandon,
the camel.
mate, pretty much. I'd whispered to Brandon, like,
Oh yeah, it looks good.
price?
bit tight. I had said to Brandon, he's fucking scamming us here. And in perfect English, he goes, "Well, what did you say?" Like he clearly heard me say he's trying to fucking scam us. I go,
They know what scammers are, don't they?
yeah,
Yeah.
I just went, "Oh, those tombs over there, they're massive." He goes, "Oh yeah, tombs are big. Get onto the camel." So we're now sat on top of these camels. And Josh's camel's the ones at the front, and the camel's just going.
That's literally the perfect noise, but it's so loud. Shitting
So
myself, mate.
the
Shitting myself.
camel's trying to cool itself down by like bringing its intestines out and cool it down before. No, genuinely, the
Yeah,
camels will bring up their organs to cool them down before swallowing them back. So you just see Josh's camel pure having a funky fit at the front, right? So we're all just looking like, what is going on here? And what was it, 65 he was wanting at first?
He was on €50, and the guy in the taxi beforehand that dropped us off, Ahmed, he's a fucking boy. He gave us like the shittiest, JKest quad bikes I've ever been on, but he was lovely. He was like, you shouldn't be paying any more than like 10 to €20 for camels. If someone says 50, they're scamming you, and he just goes, €50. Oh, no, no. I was like, oh,
Bear in mind,
no.
we got fucked straight away. This is like 10 minutes ago.
I'm like this time I was like, mate, I'm not paying that because it should be 10 to €20. And he was like, he's lying to you, he's lying to you. And I was like, he's not lying to me, he's just making sure I don't get scammed. I was like, I'm not paying €50. I was like, I'll pay you €15. And we ended up he was fucking really stubborn. We're like, right, we'll do what was it, €30? And Brandon was like
Yes, yeah, it was 30.
30. Yeah, and then Brandon was like, I don't have cash, I only have card. And he was like, that's okay. We'll get to that part. Get to that part later. Um, but I'm on this camel. It's fucking making these wild noises. Shit, mate, you're so high up as well. Like you're literally like 8 foot in the air. I'm terrified of this. Then we finally are like, right, okay, let's go then. So I'm ready to go off my camel, and then Muhammad fucking gives it a wee whip and it comes down. Muhammad just rides up on top of me, and I was like, oh no. So, um, we're all setting off, and they're so slow as well. Like they're walking at a really, really slow pace. So it's not as if like they're going super fast and we can shout shit back at each other and have like a conversation. Muhammad's like right in front of me. We get like halfway around and we go up for like a wee viewpoint. And he was like, "I'll get you some water because we're really thirsty by this point." He goes to get us some water and we regroup and we're just like, "Oh fuck." We've
Yeah, we
been
fucked it.
absolutely
Like
cooked
we've
here.
only paid for the camels. What's this fucker gonna try and charge us for?
How
So
much
we're
did
all
he charge for
that
the
to look
water?
at these poor camels just in front of the pyramids, and all of a sudden you're just kind of like, fucking, we're here to see the pyramids,
Give
but it
good
was like,
shit about it because they're in such bad condition. Like
yeah,
they're not looked after very well. Like they clearly just aren't in the best of health. So like you feel bad for the camels, and we
yeah,
couldn't speak to each other. Like they're all like chained to each other, so like you're in a straight
yeah,
line.
Mm.
So we couldn't speak to each other, and it was like kind of ruined the experience a little bit. But he kept on going like, I look after you, you look after me. I look
yes,
after you, you look
yeah.
after me. And I was like, well, mate, how much is it going to cost? And he was like, I look after you, you make sure you look after me.
If Muhammad take good photo? Yes, Muhammad good photo. Yes, you pay Muhammad. Muhammad, that was what he was saying though. That is not me being
That,
racist.
no, no, mate, that's what they're like. That is their
It
job.
was
Like
awful.
they have to make money, don't they? Like we had to be
Yeah,
fair,
but like,
luckily when so we didn't do the camel thing because it was exactly that, like you said, it just didn't look good.
Yeah.
Felt sorry for the camels, and it just looked really boring and slow. It was like you're just doing it to say you've done it, like which I get, but also it just didn't look great. We just did the quad bikes. Quad bikes was sick, and we did it
yeah,
like privately, so like we didn't have to go in a big. You see all these massive groups going around, and they're just like going really slowly because someone in the front's going slow, or
Quality
like
control.
they have to stop every 2 minutes because someone's not sure how to work it. So like, luckily we just did our own, and that was good. But yeah, like the camels, it did just look quite sad. We went and had Bedouin tea instead of the camels, and it just tasted of tea.
we did Egyptian tea, didn't we, at some point?
Turkish tea.
Oh, Turkish tea.
It just tasted normal tea.
Yeah, but I like it. It's the wee fancy cup that you get it in. It's like, ooh, lovely.
That's what you
But
get
yeah,
when you do like a
Mohammed,
Turkish barbers if you want a tea. They do that for you.
fuck that.
Your Turkish barbers give you tea in England.
Yeah, if they say do you want a drink and people ask for tea and it's like a
You
Turkish
just get a
tea.
fucking
Yeah, the little cups.
horror cut and have to walk out being, yep, that's great, mate. Yep, cheers.
Yeah, that's the same as us.
Yeah, that's spot on.
Did you
That's
see
your
my story that I put on earlier?
No.
yeah, the guy
Or the
just
low
like
taper
put your
fade.
hair a little.
So I went in right and I showed him a photo and I was like, I kind of want to grow it out and I'm gonna like have like a bit of a taper and like over time just like slick this back and like have my flick because obviously my flick is my whole personality. And he was like, yeah, it looks great. And I was like, so like, what should I do? He was like, yeah, I'll sort it out. I'll sort it out. Like this is gonna look amazing. He literally
Mohammed
don't get
Barber.
me wrong, he did like a little bit like here and obviously round the back, but
Yeah.
like it looks like identical to when I went in. And he was like, yeah, £20.
Oh,
So,
Drop.
I
yeah,
got
that's
back to the gym and I said to Owen, I was like, can you tell I'm a haircut? He was like, no. I was like, I just spent 20 quid. But I'm hoping that every time I go in now, I show them this is what I'm going for. They're like, okay, it's growing into that new style.
Just
what
show him
were you trying
the
to get
AJ
away from?
Morris photo. Just show him
I,
AJ.
I don't want it like AJ's. I want it like the photo on my story. Do you see it?
Hold
I
on.
didn't see you put a photo in the story now.
What are you on about then, Josh? You said you'd seen it.
Yeah, I seen that you had a issue with the barber, but I didn't see that you put like a photo up along with it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I literally
What
just
do you
read
feel
it.
like?
It's slap bang. It's a big picture. I didn't read the text.
Yeah, like that. Like it's kind of
Fair.
it's pretty much how it is now, but it's just like
Just longer.
yeah, a bit
Yeah.
longer and like
Uh,
just. But the thing is, I don't know whether it's because my hair grows this way or because I'm so used to styling it across this way that if I just slick it back, it just doesn't look right. It has to go like back and
It'll just be that your hair's used to sitting like that.
how do I change that? Just
You just have
put it the
to
other way.
what I did to get my hair to go different was I just pulled it back and had hats for the longest time so that my hair naturally would go back again and it would normally fall like that. Because I used to have like a pure quiff like this at one point,
yeah.
and I've had like proper bin lid as well, so I used the
Had like
hacks.
just like kind of buzz cut thing as well, haven't you?
What, me?
Yeah, not like buzz cut, but just like your usual short, like teenage boy hair.
I had a buzz cut at one point.
Yeah, that looks great, Finn.
God.
Yeah,
This is
man.
what I mean, though. If I try and go back, it just goes like
Mhm.
that.
Yeah,
It's
because
because
it's
it's short
dry
though.
and it's
Like you've
satin
got
that way.
short hair
Like
though.
when you wash it, come out the shower,
Yeah.
it's got the
Wash your
little.
hair and then put it the other way. Get a comb or some shit. And
Yeah.
Um, see how it
Cheers,
goes.
boy. Cheers, boys. Anybody watching as well? Yeah, this is the kind of coaching that
Everyone
we
wants
provide.
hair to set
Get
us up.
hair coaching as well.
Yeah, buddy.
Right. So after Mohammed scammed you, how much did you end up
Oh no,
tipping?
I got
Oh,
him at
that's
work.
what's.
Yeah, like he
We're
he
not even
was
started.
so insistent on taking us to the Papyrus Paper Museum.
Oh, that's
He
fucking
kept going the
beauty.
papyrus paper, like I show. He kept on repeating, like I show you the true Egyptian way. Like you not feel like a tourist, you feel like true Egyptian. It's like we go to the papyrus museum. This ticket, and he was taking our tickets. He was like, "This gets you access to the papyrus museum." So I was like, "Oh, it'll be like all official and this and that."
2
We
minutes
finish
of
up,
the day.
and by this time I'm in a fucking stinker of a mood. I'm like, "Mate,
Oh,
how much are we getting charged here?" And he just kept on putting off the question, and he was like, "Right, just follow me." So we finally finish up at the pyramids and everything, and we're following him, we're walking. We get like 15 minutes into the actual slums, and I'm like, we're so far away from the pyramids. This is not an official ticket.
there's no way this ticket's
Yeah,
what's getting
I'm
us
like,
in
it's
here.
I
not from
kept
the
just saying to
government.
him, how far away are we? And he was like, just round this corner. And we turn around the corner and just keep on walking. And I was like, oh Jesus, I'm getting really frustrated here. So we finally get to the, lo and behold, the Papyrus Museum. Fucking crazy. It was a shitty little shop. The only reason that he took us there is because it was a card machine. Brandon, Brandon couldn't pay in cash, so he took us along so we could use the card machine. Then just fucked off. I was like,
Yeah.
mate, this is ridiculous. We only ended up getting charged, like, it's not awful. He charged us 20 quid each for like his service, and then
Mate,
30
what
quid
he
for
said though,
cameras.
so
Yeah.
whenever we went in, those two boys, Brandon and Josh, went to the bathroom, and I was stood there with Mr. Mohammed and the papyrus man. And Mohammed just goes, "Your friend, verify all money, money, money." All he thinks like, how much am I getting charged? How fast? How fast? This is the Papyrus Museum. I was like,
Some
cool,
jakey little random shit,
cool.
mate.
So we go up and it cheeky fucker, by the way. I've just remembered this. We got literally there's a free water, and he was like, "Oh yes, you don't need to pay for that." I was like, "I fucking hope not."
I was at the water machine. I was
Yeah,
like, cheers, mate.
lucky us.
Cheers.
Um, but we go up and we're like, right, 500 Egyptian each. That's like a fiver. Fuck him, he gets that. Uh,
Doesn't take that
that's
lightly.
an insult. Americans pay me £200, $200, and we're looking at each other like,
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
Oh, he was
what?
pissed off.
Yeah,
He was
mate.
like, he was really
So
insulted. He
insulting.
was like, I work 1 day a week. I work 1 day a week. I can't afford to feed my family with 500
Should have
Egyptian
said,
pounds.
mate, we didn't even want you to do anything for us.
Exactly. That's me.
Innit?
That's what I was trying to get at. I was like, well, like we just kind of wanted to do our own thing. I was like, I didn't want to be here at this fucking papyrus museum. Like, so I was like, right, we'll
What
give
does
you.
papyrus mean? It's papyrus paper.
Yeah, it's like
Yes,
the
it's the
original
way that they
paper
make
that
the paper for like their posters.
they made out of like the fucking wooden shit, the trees, and they thinged it down. But yeah, like I was like, I'll give you 10 quid. Give you 10 quid. And he just was not having it. He was like 50, 60. And I was like, mate, I'll give
Giving
you,
up now.
yeah, I was like,
50.
You've
No, I
insulted me
can't. 60.
70.
I'll give you 15 quid. And he was like, no, 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 no. And we eventually kind of
Bottom to
got
20.
down to £20 each. 60 quid for me. That's so much money for them. I went and bought us three 1.5 litre bottles of water, and it cost me like a pence and a half.
Yeah.
He was getting 50 quid.
Mate,
Um,
he's bought a villa off of us. He's
oh,
got a villa in
mate, he
Uganda.
seen three fucking white boys and hit the jackpot.
Yeah.
He was like, mate, there was a point where he like seen one of his mates who had other camels, and he was pure giggling to them, and they were like shouting shit, and I was like, I can tell you're
Yeah.
taking
I
the
know
piss,
what you're saying.
riding right behind you.
Whenever we were
Um,
walking to the papyrus, but all these little Egyptian kids were running up to us like, "Oh, buy this, buy this," and he's like saying to them in Arabic, like, "Fuck off,
Yeah.
like leave them. Like I'm getting the money, not you guys." He's just going like that, like leave them alone, leave them alone. And we're like, "Oh, we've actually just been."
he had a good one as well because Brandon's card payment was for the camels. He had the money for like to pay him, but it was for the camels. So Mohammed has gave the camel guys mine and Noah's money. And then when he went to the card machine, he just took that other money for himself. So like those camel guys must have been like 40 quid or whatever much they got from it. That's fucking brilliant. You've done us a good one there. and then not knowing that there's still more
Little did they know.
and he's took that himself. So Mohammed's a gimp.
Yeah, Mohammed, if you're in the Natural Physique Hub, mate, you're an arsehole.
Yeah.
This is even
Make,
on
make it a
YouTube.
podcast that's out to yeah.
All the
Yeah, we'll
podcasts
find
go on
them.
YouTube now.
See if
We'll
I can
find
find
them.
him on Facebook or something and directly send it
Like
to
what
him.
we were saying on the podcast, we were like, Slim, if you're watching this, bro.
I like that. You made like a full like movie.
Honestly, mate. So
Character.
the thing is, it's
Sounds
funny.
like the in-betweeners.
It's funny when people tell stories because, like, then I've envisioned all of that. You telling that whole story, I've got a vision of it all in my head of you walking to the Papyrus Museum,
Yeah, I was
watching
fucking
and Mohammed.
scared of it.
Like, you make it's like when you read a book, you make that image in your head. Like, it's cool, isn't it? How that works. Like, and like when me and Reese were talking about Slim, like, people will have that perception in their head of what he looks like and stuff. Like, it's quite
I love
funny.
looking at Slim.
Bless him.
I was getting absolute fucking. I was getting slandered for the whole holiday. Every time anything would come up, every time I would say something, they would just bring up Muhammad, and I was like, I can't even say it here because they were blaming me, and I was getting so annoyed for it as well. The issue was, I would get annoyed at them saying stuff, but if I didn't react, they would just do it until it did. So they would keep on saying shit about Muhammad. And I was like, I'll just ignore it. It got to a point where I'm just like, mate, shut the fuck up. And they're like, oh, Muhammad. So like, they'd fucking take the piss out of me for getting annoyed. I'm like, I hate the both of you, man.
Brandon got a good amount as well, though. Let's not.
Yeah,
He
Brandon
got it
did get a
back.
good amount. He had some outrageous stuff. There was different things for each country. Every country we went to, we had like a different little thing that we were giggling at. Something fucking daft that would happen. Like there was ones in all of them. So yeah, it was good. Memories made. And Mohammed's to fucking to hate. Don't like the guy.
What else happened then after Mohammed?
What, like anywhere else?
We can't say the one really about Brandon and his mum.
Oh, oh, Brandon, you know.
Yeah, because Brandon will be watching this as well, so
No,
that one was brutal. That gets said through the whole holiday. Every time Brandon would say something about Hamid, I would say something back about his mum.
his mother.
Yeah, and what she does and what she messages him. But um, I try to think, what else could we
I had
say?
to go at Josh in my sleep.
Oh yeah, Noah was right pissed off. So bad. So Noah and I would usually sleep next to each other. Brandon would jump on the sofa beds. But all the double beds were like pretty fucking small. So we were literally shoulder to shoulder. When we would sleep, both of us snore as well, and it's hard to like lie on your side without falling off the bed because you're getting pushed about. So pretty much both of us sleeping on our back. We're in Sarajevo at this point.
Yeah.
I woke up in the middle of the night because his snoring's really bad at this point. And I sat there for like 10, 15 minutes just keeping my calm. I was like, right, I'm gonna get back to sleep. I'll be fine. I'll be fine. Got to a point where it was so loud. I just kind of tapped him. I was like, no, mate, you're snoring so loud. And he just went, fuck off, mate. And he shouted at me. He was like, you were snoring earlier, and I didn't fucking say anything about it. Started shouting at me in the middle of his sleep. And I started pure wetting myself laughing, right? Because he's going off his nut. He was like, stop fucking laughing, it's not funny. Then turns around and goes back to sleep. And I'm sat there like nearly crying in tears, just laughing. And I woke up in the morning and I was like, you in a better mood? And he was like, what are you talking about? So he had no recollection at all of this. And he's like going mental at me in the middle. I was pure offended as well. At one point, I kind of deep down, I was like, I'm not taking that fucking disrespect off this one. And right next to me, but I was like, I'll just leave it. He doesn't even know he's awake. And then in Egypt as well, you two fucking backstabbing me with pizza. That was terrible.
Right, I'll explain this. So
Yeah.
we were initially planning on going from Giza up to the River Nile and getting a river cruise down, belly dancers,
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful.
buffet, 3 hours down the
What were
river.
they? Belly dancers.
Belly dancers, yeah. So we're like, boom, we'll do that. But logistic wise, it didn't make much sense.
Oh,
We
tell
all
me about
thought,
how it went when we landed there. And
oh,
realization.
yeah, so whenever we landed in Egypt, yeah.
Yeah, and the elevator as well. You nearly dying in the
Fucking
elevator,
hell, yeah, I almost lost my head in the elevator. So
like
we
legitimately.
got there, there's no lanes on the roads. Every car looks like it's been bashed up with a Fortnite pickaxe. Like it looks like it's damaged. There's no one uses indicators. It's horns, horns, horns,
Like
right?
a 5-lane motorway with no lines at all. People are just going
The
mental.
car just so trying
Sounds
to
like
we got to our place and I mean the apartment was beautiful though. The
yeah,
apartment
outside it was an absolute dive. I thought we were
outside it looked like
And
It
even
looked like
elevator,
a
like
bomb had went off. It was rubble everywhere. Um, and yeah, we basically came to the conclusion we're pissed off about Mohammed, and we thought, you know what? If we go out for dinner around here, we're getting stabbed. So what we
well,
need to do,
the night before, like when we landed there, we got up to our balcony. There was like a jacuzzi and everything. It was absolutely beautiful. We're like, right, this is peak. Like we have cooked so hard. This is going to be brilliant, so on and so forth. We get into the apartment. We settle down for a wee bit, and I'm like, there's so many mosquitoes in here. Holy shit! And I was like, should we have got vaccines for going here? And I searched it up, and there's like three different vaccines that we should
yeah,
have got. It's fucking hepatitis, this and
dengue fever,
that.
hepatitis, malaria, and Josh.
Well,
So
I'm
I
a little
panicked.
bit kind of dodgy with it, yeah.
Fuck. Josh can back me up. I shit myself as soon as he said that. So I
Yeah.
went to sleep in Egypt wearing my beanie, a sweatshirt, my shorts, and I've wrapped my duvet up to my head like this.
I looked over
There's
in the
nothing
morning.
getting through. I
There's
woke
no
up
skin shown at all.
pure piss and sweat at this point. But we got mosquito spray the next day, like 4 shops
That
later,
was the
because
bad thing though.
all
Like
the
the guy
all the
gave
shops were shut.
yeah, the guy gave us recommendations for pharmacies. So we all walk out. We must look so strange. I'm in my fucking full trackie, hood up in my hoodie. We're all fully clothed. Like Noah's like again got his beanie on everything. We're
It was
like
genuinely
fully
something out there between us.
That is
fully
argument.
packed up. And we're like, right, we'll go to these pharmacies. First one we went to, like a pure rubble building. The next ones that we go to, it's just all shut down, all like nothing's there. And we're like, we're three pharmacies in at this point. We've been out for like 20 minutes and we're like, we're not getting mosquito spray. We're not gonna be able to leave the house. We're not gonna be able to go to the pyramids. Eventually get the mosquito spray, go back up. Then obviously that's when we went to the pyramids and the Mohammed and so on and so forth. But continuing on with the pizza story in my way.
Right, so
That
we're like, right, we're getting stabbed, robbed, and kissed all over if we go out round here. So let's not go out here. Let's get something called in. So we're like, fuck it. Let's just see what they have like on
yeah,
delivery. And
just
they
a
had like
thought.
a Domino's, right? So you know what, Domino's is probably going to be shite considering it's a third world country, but it's better than now. So we get it up, and of course Josh with his special bowels was like, if it's not barbecue based, I'm not eating it. So if this random Domino's in a third world country didn't have his fancy base,
Barbecue base.
so they didn't have it. Surprise, surprise. So we looked at Pizza Hut, which all of a sudden he doesn't need a fucking tomato base for.
Because
Um,
tomato-based Pizza Hut's better than tomato-based Domino's. Do we agree there?
fuck up. Anyway,
Yeah, it's
we,
really.
Josh has decided to go for a little power nap. So we ordered this pizza and we get it delivered. Me and Brandon go and collect it. And we get back in this dodgiest elevator. Basically, between every floor, you know how normally you'd have like the metal or
The
something
door.
like that? It was just broken rubble floor by floor. We went in and it should not have fit 6 people whenever we first went in. Not bearing in mind, we all had our big rucksacks. Josh had a suitcase.
Bad part, Noah was facing
I was
towards.
facing the opposite way. My bag was at the door though, and I barely squeeze in, and all of a sudden, as it goes up a level, where it's like in between floors, the wall basically
the
caved
bag.
in from the rubble, so my bag slipped in there, and
So
then
you
as
get
the
your
next
bag back
floors
to me.
approached, the floors like poof. So all of a sudden, my bag just went and got pulled down with it, and the
Yeah.
guy's just like,
Now the guy probably grabbed you as well. Like he literally
oh,
like
he had to like rip
practice.
at me, like
Because
because
if
I
you didn't
was
get
going to
pulled
get
forward, you would have
sucked
get
up by
launched
the
back
wall.
and then just like slammed by the. Yeah, it was fucking terrifying. Then the woman told us that there was only supposed to be 2 people in at max at a time.
Yeah,
Like
and there
no
were 6
stay.
of us, all with our suitcases, all with everything. So
Terrifying.
anyway, we've got these pizzas, and we're on our balcony, and we can see the pyramids from our balcony, which was really cool, to be fair. And
And I'm buzzing
Josh
to
is still having his beauty sleep. He literally fell asleep as I was ordering it. He was looking over me, picking the pizza and paying for it, and all of a sudden I look at him, he's just conked out. So right, we'll just wait outside for the pizza, wake him up when it comes. So we put the pizza down, we wake him up. Oh, Josh, pizza's here. Jake sits up out his scratcher. Oh, and we're like, right, sound, he's up. We'll go set up the pizzas out the front. So me and Brandon go out round from the bedroom and put our stuff at the seats on the outside of the balcony. Cool. So we start eating, and then Josh hasn't come, and we're like, what the fuck's he doing? So he's fallen straight back asleep. The second we've left that room, he's just dropped. After he's got up, stretched as if he's about to come out, he's went straight back asleep. So We're
So
eating all.
I start to like come to a little bit, and I can hear voices outside, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? And I was like, this is really strange. And I eventually get the courage to get up because I was knackered at this point. I was like, I'm buzzing to eat this pizza, man. I was like, this pizza's gonna be great. We're gonna sit outside and we're gonna eat it together. I wake up, an hour has passed. Their pizza's all finished outside. Those two are fucking sat there giggling to themselves. I open up a pizza that's freezing cold.
No, no, you came to the door and you saw me and Brandon sat outside with all the pizza boxes. His was stone fucking cold at this point because he kept sleeping. So he's come in and he's looked at it like, did no one want to wake me up? And we're like,
And we
mate, we
start going off there
got
and
you.
me as well.
All
Yeah.
of a sudden, we're getting the blame for it, even though Josh opened his eyes, stretched, decided to go back to sleep.
Yeah, you can have a full argument with me in the middle of your sleep and not
That
know it.
doesn't count, though. That doesn't count.
And
I
then
thought you
they
were going to say that you'd eaten it all.
Yeah, I no, I was in a shitter of a mood already. Go to eat my pizza. There was no tomato base on it at all. Either was any of us. The Pizza Hut was terrible.
Stinking.
We've literally just sat there for the rest of the night because again, Egypt, we're thinking this is going to be absolutely brilliant. We're going to do everything here. We went to the pyramids, came back in, slept, ate a shit Pizza Hut, done nothing, and then went back to the airport.
Yeah, we couldn't even sleep because the flight was at 3 in the morning. So we
So,
had to go. Oh, remember the woman whenever we landed in Egypt?
who?
I got to flex my
Oh,
French speaking skills.
yes.
We Egypt, that was the safest airport we've ever been to. We get stopped, searched, put our bags through about 8 times before we even got to the deck. It was mental. But whenever we got in, we had to sign this like disembarkation form and give that through. And we didn't have a pen. Was that what it was? We didn't have a pen to finish the last bit. And there was a woman who didn't speak any English. And she spoke a bit of French. So I managed to speak to her in French to figure out where she got the pen, who she got it from, and where to go from that. So I was having a wee yapping French with her.
Oh,
Um,
so
yeah. So the Arab huzz, that was quite fun.
learning the Arabic, not good enough, mate. Need to know
No,
every language.
no. But what do you call it? That Ahmed was nice though. From
Yeah. We get
yeah,
called small natties at the Bosnian airport as well. Yeah. We get all the supplements taken out of our bags and everything. They were proper like seriously searching it and shit. And I was like, this is dodgy as fuck. Um, and I've got all my pills like laid out and everything, all my creatine, my protein powder, so on and so forth. And there's a guy that was really nice. Like he was kind of speaking to he had his dog, like he was the owner of the kind of sniffer dog. He was like, "What are those? Are those omega 3s?" And I was like, "Fucking yes, somebody knows what it is. Like, at least it doesn't look like we're just trying to fucking bring drugs into the country." So then he was like, "Right, I need to wait for my bosses to get here." Two guys rock up, and he was like, "Why? Why do you have all this?" And I was at bodybuilders. And he just looked all three of us, then just paused for a few seconds, just went, "Where is muscle?" And I was just like, fucking hell. It was so humbling. And the worst part about it was I had my jacket off by this point. And I went like that, I went like, "Muscle." And he went, "No, muscle." And I was just like, come on, mate, please.
I was the only
Yeah.
one that had internet at this point, so
Yeah.
I was like, "Fuck!" I'm just gonna go on Instagram and try and show like a photo of Josh on stage or something. So I got his stage shots up from his pin post and was like, "Look, that's him." So all of a sudden, he just pulls Josh's t-shirt up to see what his abs were saying, and he goes,
No, that's not you.
"That's not you. That's
Like,
not you."
mate, the
Trying to
guy is
explain
so bad.
glutathione to someone in their second language was a bit challenging.
I
But the
would
guy,
do that.
what we didn't mention, the dog handler, what a boy. He's got like 140,000 followers on TikTok.
Yeah, he followed
Like,
up with some shit. He was lovely, him.
yeah.
I've
Um,
never had any issues with supplements going on holiday
First
ever.
time that I have as well.
I think I know what it was though. So when we came back from Egypt to Turkey, my HydroFlow smashed in my bag. And remember I mentioned the like the package it was in, it cracked, so the powder went everywhere. My bag stunk of HydroFlow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
to be
don't know if
fair,
it
my
was
protein powder had burst open as well. But
yeah, so
he
I don't
said
know
that
if it
he
was the
thought it
smell
was,
that got the dog.
yeah. He
Uh,
said that he thought it was the dream sleep because it had ashwagandha in it, because that's kind of a little bit dodgy. Like in Bosnia, it was like it's kind of similar to weeds. It was like because it's used to like relax and chill out, and they give it to their animals and shit like that. So it was like it might be the ashwagandha that's in the dream sleep. So I was like,
That's cool
fuck,
that there was somebody who you could actually talk to about it, though.
yeah.
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 Milan was good as well, like that. We all went to a spa and it was full of fucking couples getting it on. We were sat in the outdoor pool and they're all literally lying on top of each other kissing. Then there was the five of us sat like that. Just me, Leo, Noah, Lewis, and Brandon. Like we so shouldn't have been there. And we were
Mhm.
sat like just fucking having a giggle, saying pure outrageous shit, and then we go into the sauna. Like we're in a pool with bubbles and stuff, so we can say whatever we want and no one cares. But then we go to the sauna and it's like complete silent. We're all just like, "Ah, what do we do here?"
We were
Yeah,
in there was this like thunder room
oh,
where
that looked hilarious.
it was really cool. So it had these walls that would basically like illuminate based off of you press this button and then it looked like a storm was picking up. The
Yeah,
water
the
started
thunder
bubbling a little bit, then it started drippling down rain, then it went.
crazy.
So
Yeah,
there's these two girls, right? And they were only there for like Instagram photos, right? So they're in their skimpy bikinis, right? They're going into the water and they're doing
coming
like
back here.
flicking their hair back and trying to like look at them like holding their arse and like trying to look dead seductive for the photos, right? And they're going into all the rooms when we were there, and you've just got Leo Hamilton in the back going
Every
like we're
single
all
photo.
sitting like making these faces in the back of these in the back of the photos, just
It was so
like
funny.
doing something to
They stayed in that thunder room for so long because they thought we would eventually leave for like for like 20 minutes straight. All of us just sat in the background of the photo. It was fucking
Imagine
terrible.
they keep checking it. We
Mate,
can't use that one
fuck's
again.
sake.
you could see they were getting a little bit like fucking frustrated and they were like, what are these cunts doing? And we were just sat there like, we'll not leave before you leave. And that happened in so many different rooms as well. Like we'd be chilling in there, they'd come in, try to take some photos every single time. Just hit the emote for them. So
Yeah.
that was funny. Um, Also e-scooters. If anyone's traveling around Europe, e-scooters are absolutely unbelievable.
Cool.
That's my number one tip. We literally just got e-scooters on the cities where it was available and just scooted around everywhere. It
It
was
took
really,
like an hour's walk in Milan to 20 minutes.
yeah,
Like it
and you
was
see
so good. We
everything.
just scooted everywhere.
Yeah,
And then we had the Lake Como trip the next day where you were driving.
that was brilliant. I was shitting myself the whole time driving on the opposite side of the road and then the different side of the car. Did you drive Finn when you went to Italy?
Yeah, Amalfi Coast. I had a little
Fiat 500s.
Fiat 500. Yeah, it's sick.
I remember that.
Yeah, do you not remember Denmark? You fucking driving on
That's fine.
fucking nearly
You
killed
can.
us all fucking time.
I didn't. Not once.
I was just dead close to the edge of the road.
It was off the fucking road. And then
There
I
we
would
go.
start going like this. And he'd be
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
just look at me. He's like, what are you
Yes.
doing? It's like, fucking stay on the road.
Yeah,
See,
because you
Cody, in
know,
the
like on
left
the
hand
motorway, on
driver's
the edge,
seat.
the edge of the
Yeah.
motorway. If you go across, it's like,
Like the
yeah.
hard shoulder
Yeah.
kind of bit.
As soon as I hit that, he shits himself, thinking I'm going to keep going. Obviously, I'm not going to keep going.
Yeah, because you're eating, you're on your phone as well, and you're doing all this.
Oh,
Right, I was
Obviously, you're
locked
going to
in when
think
I
we're
done it.
going to
I
die
was
here.
shitting myself because you're in the
yeah.
left-hand driver's seat. So, like, see
Hmm.
if I'm not like in the middle of the road, I feel like the car that's coming towards me is going to fucking hit me in the side
Yeah,
of
yeah,
the
it does feel
but,
weird.
like over to the I'm so far over to the right
Oh.
hand side and we're driving like on these mountainous roads around Lake Como. Every once in a while Lewis just goes, Josh, 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 starts screaming at me
I,
because I'm about to run off the edge of the mountain. I was like,
yeah,
fucking hell, this is a bit
I
dodgy.
I remember I was sitting in the back right hand seat whenever we were going out. So this was Josh's first time. And I could have got a skin fade off of the barriers on the right hand side with how close he was driving to them. It
That's
was
when I had to merge on instantly as well. I just put my foot down. I didn't even think about what I was doing. I was just like, go. And I didn't realize at the point that it was so fucked. That was brutal.
But Lake
Yeah.
Como was good though. We went to Verena. We dropped the car in Verena, and then whenever you get to Lake Como, you can go to these different bits. You've got, uh,
Baggio and Menagio and
yeah,
different
they
places.
were
Yeah.
sick.
We jumped in the water. They said that we were the first people the whole season that they've seen to jump in the water because it's obviously still really cold right now. It was only like 12 degrees outside and the water was like 6, 7 degrees. And usually in summertime, the water gets like 25, 26 degrees. Um, so Leo can't swim. And we convinced him to jump in the water when it was like deathly cold. So we're like, this might not go well. And that's when we brought it back out again. So
That was
he
so funny.
he jumps in the water. He has to doggy paddle. So like I'm like, mate, this is a bit dodgy. Like I'm getting ready to jump in here. So he jumps into the water and like they were saying, like you literally can just get shock and
Yeah, you
you can't
definitely.
fucking
It's
move. You
hot.
can't do anything. So Leo jumps in, turns around, and he's like shit himself, and I'm like, he might be fucked here. Next second, he just locks in. Just starts doing that face again. I thought it was going to drown, and then it just fucking and it just starts like
Swimming
panicking,
straight back
paddling
to the
back to the
fucking
boat.
boat.
But yeah, I thought he was going to die, and then he just hit out with that. So Leo was a good giggle. So was Lewis as well. Having him there for the last part was really good.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed that. Spent enough time with fucking Brandon and Noah at that point. That was it.
And then you came back. Was that the last part? Milan was the end,
Yeah,
wasn't
that was the last day too. Yeah.
It was really good. It was an enjoyable trip. Just very different. Um,
it?
yeah, I don't regret it. It was good.
Good story. That's fucking. What has that been? 50 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I feel bad because literally just
We've
me
just
and Noah.
That's
Yeah,
funny.
sat
Like
there.
these podcasts don't have to be like every. Well, they're literally just us catching up. Sometimes we can have like ones where we discuss other things or it's educational. But sometimes it's just funny to have a chat and a catch up as to what you've been doing. One thing I guess we could talk about a little bit before we go. We'll do that 10 minutes. I'm going to assume, well, I know actually, I'm going to ask you about it, Matt. What were your thoughts on the Detroit Pro?
Um, thought it was good. Like really good standard. I thought Bonak was probably the best he's fucking been in
He looked scary.
years and years. Like
Yeah.
for somebody his age to be able to kind of almost regrow his legs is probably like unheard of. Um, it looked really good. Sass looked really good as well. I think he's doing FIBO, so probably one of the front runners there. And it
Thought
was
James was good in terms of like it was bursting full, but he's just getting no midsection detail.
Yeah, I was gonna
yeah,
say
Makes a lot of stuff look
it
funky, like
just
it's
yeah,
a
it just doesn't
double
look
stuff.
right.
Like, yeah, I thought Bonac was mental. Like he was leaps and bounds above everyone else. Like when you look at the photos, like he just looks like an absolute freak. It was really good.
What did you think of the pose down at the end between Bonac and McGregor?
I liked it. I
I
thought
think
it was
that's like
good.
a good idea.
Yeah, I think they should do that. Like, obviously, they do it over here, don't they? It's like an overall, but like they never do that. It's not a thing in IFBB. Like,
No.
it could be, but what? It's literally just gonna be two people. Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be. They're not going to put the men's physique guys on there. It's literally going to be. I guess when they were doing 212, you'd have classic open 212. That'd have been quite cool.
Because
That
I
was
was thinking like if they did that at the Olympia, I think Keon would have won that,
Yeah,
yeah,
I think he would.
which would have been pretty cool.
Yeah,
Mhm.
brilliant him.
yeah, he's a joke.
Thanks of Jack Eagles. Like
I think he did well considering the week that he had. It
Yeah.
started off
yeah,
as a fucking shit show. So I think
yeah.
he did well, and he had said like he'd wanted to get where his goal for the season was top five, first call out at Detroit. So he got that, and I think it's one of the annoying things where a lot of pressure was probably placed on him
Yeah.
rather than him creating it himself, like just through social media. And obviously the fact he looked really good, there was a lot of hype kind of around him going into it. So he
He's
probably
also
felt a
very
lot of
young.
pressure from that.
Like realistically, still like what 22-year-old or something, 23 year
He's
old.
23 now. Yeah, but 22, 23.
Yeah,
So yeah, it
I
was
was
he did
really
well.
impressed by
Alex.
Kent,
Alex
Alex Kent.
Kent. Yeah.
I remember watching because I had unfollowed him. I was watching his when he'd won his IFBB
I'm gonna
Pro.
send that to him, mate.
But sorry, mate.
Mhm.
I'm just about to glaze you, mate. So I'd watched him win the pro card. It was in Italy, wasn't it?
Yep.
Mate, he looked sick, and I loved watching the reels when he was in the garden. It was always as soon as he hits that and goes, it's
Yeah.
that little like lifts his chest and everything just opens up. I remember seeing like it was one of his reels when he was in prep. I was like, I didn't even realize he was prepping. But that one where he hits the one arm behind him,
Yeah,
looks
it's a
so
joke.
good. It's so good. He looked really, really good though.
Thought his posing could have been a lot better though.
Yeah,
His
it's
posing
weird his
wasn't
posing because
helping
he
himself.
hits some like really nice.
He's
And
so the way he poses, he's trying to pose like what he considers classic bodybuilding, like the 70s.
Mm.
So it's a lot more upright through like the legs and the side chest and stuff. Um, front double was all right. I think his front relaxed, like he was just way off it. Like his legs were too wide. He
Yeah.
was dropping the chest and contracting the abs, and then he was pulling the vacuum. It was just like he wasn't
Yeah,
like
guy that
he
was
was
doing the
constantly flicking between them.
3/4 double that looked really bad.
Oh my god! Like
that's the
I
guy.
put it on
One
my
of those
story.
came second the week before. One of the guys that you posted about hitting that.
It
Just
was the that LA show or not LA, but that
Like
was
he
a
didn't
California
have
show.
no clue how to hit a 3/4 double. Like the feet were round the complete wrong way. He was pretty much licking the ground. It's like, how do you not know how to do that? You're literally an IFBB pro. Like, how are you? You just need some fucking sessions.
What I don't understand is like, do these people not hit a pose and go, "Am I hitting this right? Does it look good?"
Yeah.
Like, or surely somebody needs to tell them that. But
There's some people are just like really genetically blessed and have fucking really good muscle bellies and so on and so forth, and they just train, pose a little bit, and they can still do phenomenal. Like they don't need to really think about the intricate details. But I think realistically, if you're competing at that level of the sport, why are you not?
Yeah.
Like, why do you not
You're
have a
stepping on a
belly?
pro stage. You should be
Yeah.
everything should be polished, shouldn't it?
Mhm.
Who was it that took third at Classic? I know it was.
The Black Rambo,
Yeah,
Oh,
I followed
he
him.
was really good. I
Yeah,
honestly think like if he was a bit of a bigger name, he could have pushed more for that top
yeah.
two.
It's just that
His
he's
lower
not
body was
ready.
like a little overdeveloped
Yeah,
compared
his
to
legs looked
like
too big, didn't they?
they were a little bit too big, but like he looked fucking ridiculous.
I
I
don't
personally, I
rate
had Wesley winning.
I don't rate Wesley's physique.
he looked worse than he did at the Arnold last year. I remember when we went, we were like, "Holy shit!" Like that was the first time I'd properly seen him compete. But I remember seeing like the comparisons, and it just doesn't look right. He's got such a strange frame.
Yeah, I just
These
think like,
rear, they're really bad.
huh?
Like his legs from the rear.
Yeah,
Yeah, they just look very straight.
Yeah.
This is the thing. Like I think he between second and third, he was obviously overdeveloped up top, underdeveloped lower. The Black Rambo was overdeveloped lower, underdeveloped over or on top. And I think the judges would probably prefer an
in
overdeveloped
classic,
body.
yeah, but I still
Yeah,
think like that. I think that's why Grego won because he's more
yeah.
of
Mhm.
a like sort of finished article all over.
Yeah.
But I do
Like,
think well, Grego in 3 years could be open.
To
yeah.
me, he's not got like the classic kind of physique. He's got
Yeah,
like a very
like
aesthetic
they were
open.
like, oh, I love his front lat spread. I was like, it's not. I don't think his front lat. It wasn't even a classic shot. He just looked like a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
He hit that
Yeah.
for his
If you
favorite
compare that
classic.
to like Logan Franklin when he hits
Oh,
his
he looks
front
sick.
lat spread, like night and day difference.
Yeah.
I feel like Wesley's legs, obviously from the front, from the side, aren't great, but like there's still a lot of detail through his quads there. There's still some
Mhm.
detail there, but see from the rear, like
Yeah, he
there's
can't.
no
I don't think he
there's
can
no
stay on his
hamstring
glutes,
detail or
or it's
glutes
how he
or anything at
poses.
all.
It's like he poses because he knows that he can't stay on them, or they look worse when he tucks them. That he tilts them back, and then it just when you could put him against it, like Grego's glutes are sick. You just think he's way off.
WNBF, you're double there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. What do you think
I
about
still
that?
don't know what that is.
Yeah,
I still can't work it out.
go on your story, read it out.
Do you have it, Josh?
It's literally just
So basically, guys, WNBF classic posing sort of format, the order of the poses has like been released. So read them out, Josh.
Well,
number
first of all,
one
so you've got
front.
your first of all, you got your symmetry rounds, which is like your four quarter turns. They're like as normal, and that's 50% of the judging, and then 50% is the muscularity poses, which there's five of, and Josh has them.
Yeah, so asymmetrical front double biceps.
That's just the front double, but feet.
Yeah,
It's-
surely they can just
That's
call
easy
that
enough.
front double.
But they
Most
don't want
classic,
people doing.
most classic guys hit it asymmetrical anyway. But yeah,
And then this one's more funky. Side chest with fists touching.
What, like that?
So it's
Well,
like the. So it's like
yeah, like that.
Oh,
does it say at hip as well?
at hip, yeah.
what the fuck?
Yeah, it's side chest with fists touching hip. So it must be touching.
That's fucking shite.
That's
Yeah, but you can make that look all right. It's not
yeah.
awful.
Classic side triceps. That's like the kind of front tricep that
The
I
one
would.
that you do, yeah.
Um, this is the bad one. Rear double biceps with one hand open.
It's like Ziz, isn't it?
Yeah, pure zizza.
Well, this is the thing. I was chatting to, Derek
Joe.
Grove.
Yeah.
He messaged me about it because I think he's got like a client or something who's doing that show, and he was just trying to get like a bit more info, see if I had any idea what like the actual pose was, and we couldn't fucking work it out because we couldn't work out if it was like the men's physique one where they actually do like that,
Yeah.
or if you could do this.
Yeah, I reckon it'll be that.
If could you have the hand like outstretched but have it open like
Yeah. I don't
they
think it
fucking
matters. I
butcher.
think if you've just got one, whatever.
Why not standardize it? Why not just do a normal fucking rear double?
Yeah.
I remember when they called out like favorite classic pose from the rear. I had no clue what to do. I just said every level just went. That's all I've done.
There you go. That's it. That's classic.
Yeah, I was like, I've got no clue what to do here. I
Mm,
so didn't know what was going to happen. Um, then two favorite classic poses instead of most musculars.
which is normal.
What would
Normal.
your
Options may
two
include
what would your two
rear
favorite
twisted back down.
what
Huh?
would your two favorite classic poses be, Matt?
Well, here's a little bit of info for everyone. When you're choosing your classic poses, always hit a front shot first, and then you can either hit another front shot, a side shot, or a rear shot, but never do like a rear shot first. You can do like a side one first, but the problem is if somebody just comes and hits like a teacup and you're standing there trying to do like a mantis, you're just making yourself look really small. So always do front shot. So for me, that would be the teacup because I've got good delts, decent arms when they're kind of in that down position. And then I would always do a twist and three-quarter rear double just because it's one of them where like I look pretty good in it, but a lot of people can't hit it. So if I'm
Yeah, if
able
you
to
can hit
hit
it
it,
well, you
if I
stand
can
out.
hit it well, you stand out. Uh,
What do they class as the vacuum pose? Is that like a
it's just an ab
Abs,
and thigh,
abs and
but
thigh.
pulling. Yeah,
okay?
You're doing crucifix there, mate.
yeah.
Yeah, but they've not got that written down, and you can vacuum in a crucifix. I don't know if that was that. They've got side mantis, they've got teacup pose. Like they've actually got a few different options of
What?
like
Oh, okay, cool. On the
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
classic.
They've
but like
got written down like some different ones. I thought it would just be like quarter three quarter rear double or like front tricep, but they've got some like funky ones in there that you can do.
Matt,
what would
did
you
I see
guys
it
choose?
right that they're doing 90-second routines as well, like 60 to 90 seconds?
I think so, yeah. But once
That's
again, it's
I
not
wonder if
judged.
they'll judge the routine a little bit more, like if it's classic, because
It's very
realistically, that's
difficult to
part of it.
judge.
Like if you think about it, like posing is important in classic. If you've got a really good posing routine, that technically should like
They
But how do
can't.
you define a really good posing
Ah,
routine?
yeah.
hmm?
How do
The
you
whole
define a
transition.
good posing routine?
You like the one that you fucking posted, like that's a good
Yeah,
posing. I'm
but
talking
that's what we think.
That's
Like,
subjective.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard because you're
yeah,
not
but if
against
someone
someone.
turns up and
Yeah,
they're
but is
hitting
bodybuilding
three-quarter
not
double, like
subjective in
the
that case
freaking
then?
It's
hmm?
subjective, but they've got objective things that they can use to.
But if someone turns up in the posing routine is pure like robotic as fucking, they're like hitting pure like bang, 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 and then going into it, and they do the three-quarter double and they like launch into it, and it's pure like guff. Like there's an issue there.
Keep going, mate. What else do they do? This is great.
Yeah, start fucking doing it in my room, get my kettle.
And then what if they did this?
You know what people are like when they're pure fucking like dead like aggressive with it and shit, and but yeah. So I think that should technically count.
I would like to see them judged, but I just don't think
I think in
don't
bodybuilding,
think
not a
it.
chance, not a chance.
No.
But for classic, if they're going to this length to like make it all classic and shit, I think I think it stands out when someone's got a really good like classic posing routine. Like it's there's a big difference.
Just, I get that, but I think you've got to judge it based on the competition. I think if it's like a tie break and they go, right, the top two or between second and third, it's this close. Like, so we judged it on their routine. Fair enough. But
Yeah.
I think if it's like, I don't think you should jump up a place like, oh well, he's actually worse, but his posing routine was better. You know what I mean? I
More
think
It's a
if it's,
classic.
complete competition, not a fucking like artistic
but
dance
I still think
expression.
they like Josh. They'd get judged against each other. So if one of them's not classic at all and they're posing in the actual symmetry and mandatories is shite, then they'll get marked down anyway. And
Mhm.
then their posing is probably shit in the routine anyway. You know what I mean? So if their posing is incredible in their routine but not in the mandatories, you'd almost be like, well, that's worse. They shouldn't get rewarded for
Yeah.
that. You can't pose in the
Yeah.
mandatories. Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah, that's what I think. But yeah, it's I mean, it's not that different to. It's just that they just like named it weird, like named the
But
posing.
I don't understand why can't you just do a normal side chest? Why can't you just do a
Not
normal
classic,
rear
bro.
double?
Yeah, and if you want to put a classic
Why
twist
is
on,
that? That's not classic though. That's like
Yeah,
what
classic.
makes it classic?
Yeah, they do
The
that in
Ziz
classic anyway.
division. It's the Ziz division at this point.
Yeah, exactly.
Need some hard style. Just
You're going to be getting people on stage doing those poses because that's all they really know.
Yeah.
yeah.
But it'll be interesting to see anyway. Mhm.
We'll end it on that.
Yeah.
That was a very funny episode. Thank you for everybody who's watched. So we'll post this on YouTube as well, just because we're going to start putting the podcast on YouTube, obviously the other content that we have on the hub, like the seminars, webinars, whatever you want to call them that we do, and obviously like the videos, training videos and stuff, obviously we'll keep on there. But I think it's quite cool to just put these on YouTube. It gets people to sort of get to know us a little bit more, see your guys' personalities a little bit more. I say your guys, mine as well, but I think probably people might know me more from me doing a podcast for years and that kind of thing. If you're not already, go and watch once you're in. We're back. We're back, guys. When you guys visit as well, we'll have to get you on the podcast in person because it is literally there.
We can even do just fucking rip the sign off the wall and we can
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, to be fair, like we're gonna hire.
One and we can switch them out.
Yeah, we're gonna hire this room out.
You're gonna make us pay for it, yeah?
Yeah, I'll make you pay for it. I'll pay the business. I'll pay the gym. Say I'm hiring out.
Okay.
Right, we'll wrap it up there. Thank you all for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.